Hello fellow oil painter, this is your friendly reminder to clean your palette. It might not look as dramatic as mine. It looks like a cake. It's a good smelling cake. I'm going to show you different ways that you can go about it. So I have two that I will be demonstrating on. We have pretty thick layers, so we're gonna get rid of those. This one is a lot thinner. There are different ways to take care of it. From what I have read, you basically have to retreat the wood. We have a few materials we'll be using, or that I'll be testing out for you. Turpentine, acetone, a possible replacement for turpentine, the odorless paint thinner or any kind of paint thinner, mineral spirits. All of these can be used as they are supposed to remove paint from your brushes. So once they're thick and dry like these are, I believe that should work just fine. The thing that sets them apart from turpentine is the strong odor that turpentine has versus the milder or odorless component that these other solvents may have. We have alcohol for cleaning surfaces. I use this for my floor from time to time for the other oil splashes. You can use nitrile gloves or nitrile gloves. I don't know how to pronounce it. Some palette knives, cloth, and a scraper. We can use this to lightly scrape it off. So I will direct you to the kitchen now and we'll see how all of this works. Let's test out first the scraper, at least to get rid of some of these areas. Ooh. Am I getting rid of wood? I got rid of a bit of the wood. I want to keep the strokes lighter. So it's not excellent. Yeah, this is too thin and I'm ruining the sides. Palette knife to remove some of these other areas. So I'm getting rid of some of them, not all of them, because I want to see how the solvents, and I want you to see how the solvents act accordingly. So this is going to be turpentine. I'll use the palette knife to spread relatively evenly across the surfaces. So this becomes very easy, and it's only been a few seconds. Oh. Looking good. Though I am potentially noticing that it's maybe getting rid of the varnish too of the palette, so that's something to note. Let's try acetone. Fairly easy. We're gonna do alcohol. Okay, let's see how alcohol is doing. Not too good. It's been about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Maybe just needs more time. Well, I'm not gonna push it too much more now. The Sansodor. It's a bit softer in terms of it's kind of marbling. taking a bit of effort. So it still works, it's just not as quick as turpentine, but it does a pretty good job so far. Done with the wood. There's 4 left. It is definitely going to take a bit of time because it's thicker layers. It's getting a few areas, nice. Hey guys, my card got full, so I'm going to continue through my phone for just a moment. Okay, so I just wanted to give a quick update. It's looking like this. It's still a little bit difficult. How thick these flaky parts are. It's really cool. So while we're waiting for, well, while I'm waiting, Jesus Christ, I already see some wrinklage. I ended up conjuring this thing. I noticed that under here, all of the layer was able to come out in like almost as a whole. Okay, so I got a different idea now. It's a bit more genius. Instead of masking tape, we have the film. I need to squat to be in shot. Okay. Placing that down there. See how that turns out? I'm just afraid that the turpentine is going to eat the plastic. So if it does, I'll let you know. I think this was stupid. I think the plastic film is stuck. Oh boy. It doesn't have, yeah. What's above genius level? Okay. Turpentine definitely makes it easy to scrape. Just don't use plastic, like yours truly. Okay, so let's remove these, see what happened. They're kind of lifted though. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. That's what I like to see. Flaky. Oh, look at that beauty. Is that tape? Or is that the plastic of the... What is that? Just like turpentine needs plastic, acetone does too. I don't know if you can hear it. That was dumb. I'll leave it at that. This is a whole mess. To just quickly pour the alcohol. I'm very likely just going to throw this palette away. Like, turpentine and acetone are the ones that work best. However, as you might have seen, it comes at a cost. So alcohol's not great. These are the results. Front and back. This is what I did not clean. This is what I cleaned. And this is what I did not clean. There's a lot of yellowing and there's a lot of grading or sandy patching. Applying a lot of the acetone and letting it react for quite a while and masking it with the masking tape certainly ate it up a lot. And we had a lot of melting plastic. So my recommendation is go with the wood, don't go with the plastic. Maybe for acrylic, surface here is pretty much intact. A little line, it's user error. If I were to fully coat this with turpentine would be to add a coat to protect the wood itself. Some general warnings and advice for you when you're cleaning your palette and dealing with this whole procedure. If you're new to oil painting or these procedures, you should be aware that these liquids are very harsh and hazardous in terms of turpentine and perhaps some of the other mineral spirits, but this is specific to what I know about turpentine. It gets absorbed by the skin. So if you have any skin conditions or sensitivities or allergies, stay away from it. But if you do want to use it, make sure to wear nitrile gloves, yeah, or there's a special cream that can protect you from these substances. Turpentine can also induce headaches. These things do happen to me, dry skin and the headaches, especially after a long day of working by the easel. There are also other more serious conditions and warnings and hazardousness, and I'll put these on the screen so that you can glance through them. So what about the rags, and what do we do with the rags that are covered in oil or turpentine or any solvent or medium? Rags that contain these materials, they should definitely be tried to dispose of and taken care of properly. These can spontaneously combust. Don't be scared. It's not usual, it's not common, but it can happen if we do not take proper measurements to prevent it. They produce heat, so when they're combined with the oxygen, they turn into combustible cloths, and then they can cause trouble for your home, studio, pets if they're around and you're not there, and the rags are lying there all stacked up in a not very safe space. How would you dispose of these rags or paper towels? Put them in an airtight metal container. There are cans of these on Amazon. There's the metal cookie jars. That's what I use. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly show you what I mean by it creates heat. This is yellow. Yeah, this is linseed oil. Do you see how white that is and how yellow this is? So in the perfect conditions, this could have caught fire. So I'm already calling myself out. So if you are kind of like me, be careful. I'm lucky that there's not enough oil, so it dries out pretty quickly in that sense. So I haven't had an accident happen. So the ideal thing to do with this, place them inside in this airtight metal container, so with the lid, or even a glass container, so a large pickle jar or something, I don't know, you can stuff them in there. These can and should definitely be taken to a hazardous waste facility for disposal. When we're talking about these cloths, you can let them dry out, hanging. Lastly, what can you do with the leftover paint of your palette? Well, for starters, you can simply scrape it off, put it in a jar or a tube if you have it. You can use it as an undertone layer for your painting. So undertone, undersketch, or underpainting, whichever one. There are differences, so you can just tone your canvas, that's what it means. Then you can just quickly sketch it out so you don't fully cover the canvas. And then you have the underpainting, which just means you are indeed covering the whole canvas with that paint. The reason for that is because you're going to have a very muddy brown color, so that's always a good starting point to neutralize what you're looking at and judge your values. Something else you can do is you can make a painting out of the paint that you have left. I found online that they describe this perfectly. A palette painting. I use very large tubes because I tend to work big. When I work small, I always have leftover paints and I don't know what to do about it. So after doing all of this research, I just thought, well, of course. Drop me in the comments if you have any more ideas of what to do with your leftover paints. And now I'll give you the very last tip. If you don't want to use it and you just know that you're going to be there in a day or two, back at your studio and painting, cover it with the plastic film, the thin one from earlier. It will be fresh. Let me know what you guys think. What kind of palette do you prefer? Wood or glass? I'm going to disregard the whole plastic thing because that did not go well. But if you do prefer plastic, why? And how do you take care of it? Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, do all the good stuff, and happy painting.